English speaking and pronunciation practice with a British accent, exercise 4, time management. Be sure to watch the introductory video to learn how to use the echo speaking or shadow speaking method. Just see the link in the description. So remember to turn your volume up and now repeat after me 3 times for each word or phrase. Time management. Time management. Time management. Get more done in less time. Get more done in less time. Get more done in less time. Here are 3 key principles. Here are 3 key principles. Here are 3 key principles of time management. Of time management. Of time management. That can make a huge difference. That can make a huge difference. That can make a huge difference to your productivity. To your productivity. To your productivity. 1. Create chunks of time. 1. Create chunks of time. 1. Create chunks of time. Examine your workday. Examine your workday. Examine your workday. Decide on your most productive hours. Decide on your most productive hours. Decide on your most productive hours. The times when you are feeling. The times when you are feeling. The times when you are feeling at a high energy level. At a high energy level. At a high energy level. Physically and mentally. Physically and mentally. Physically and mentally. And then focus on your main task. And then focus on your main task. And then focus on your main task during this time. During this time. During this time. This means avoiding the temptation. This means avoiding the temptation. This means avoiding the temptation to answer emails, messages, or phone calls. To answer emails, messages, or phone calls. To answer emails, messages, or phone calls. This can be a challenge. This can be a challenge. This can be a challenge. But even if it means not responding, but even if it means not responding, but even if it means not responding, to interruptions for a block of time, to interruptions for a block of time, to interruptions for a block of time, of just 30 minutes, of just 30 minutes, of just 30 minutes, you will find you can accomplish, you will find you can accomplish, you will find you can accomplish much in that time, much in that time, much in that time. 2. Break large tasks into pieces. 2. Break large tasks into pieces. 2. Break large tasks into pieces. One time management consultant, one time management consultant, one time management consultant recommends what he calls recommends what he calls the salami technique. The salami technique. The salami technique. To eat a salami, to eat a salami, to eat a salami, it is necessary to slice it. It is necessary to slice it. It is necessary to slice it into very thin pieces. Into very thin pieces. Into very thin pieces. No one would think of. No one would think of. No one would think of eating a salami whole. Eating a salami whole. Eating a salami whole. This principle can be applied to large tasks. Can be applied to large tasks. Can be applied to large tasks. A large task can seem formidable. A large task can seem formidable. A large task can seem formidable and cause people to procrastinate. And cause people to procrastinate. And cause people to procrastinate. And put it off for another day. And put it off for another day. And put it off for another day. Rather than being overwhelmed, rather than being overwhelmed, rather than being overwhelmed by a large task, by a large task, by a large task, cut off a small slice. Cut off a small slice. Cut off a small slice. Perhaps a 30-minute job. Perhaps a 30-minute job. Perhaps a 30-minute job. And make it manageable. And make it manageable. And make it manageable. Continuing to work on a large task. Continuing to work on a large task. Continuing to work on a large task in 30-minute unbroken time segments, in 30-minute unbroken time segments, in 30-minute unbroken time segments, can bring the task under control. Can bring the task under control. Can bring the task under control. So it can be completed. So it can be completed. So it can be completed in a reasonable time. In a reasonable time. In a reasonable time. The advantage with this technique, the advantage with this technique, the advantage with this technique is that it builds momentum. Is that it builds momentum. Is that it builds momentum. By completing a small slice of the job, by completing a small slice of the job, by completing a small slice of the job, A person can feel energized and motivated. A person can feel energized and motivated. A person can feel energized and motivated. To continue to the next slice. To continue to the next slice. To continue to the next slice. As you build momentum, as you build momentum, as you build momentum, you can feel a surge. You can feel a surge. You can feel a surge of power and energy. Of power and energy. Of power and energy. And a strong desire. And a strong desire. And a strong desire to complete the task. To complete the task. To complete the task. 3. Single-handle each task. 3. Single-handle each task. 3. Single-handle each task. This simple technique This simple technique can save so much time. Can save so much time. Can save so much time. Single-handling demands. Single-handling demands. Single-handling demands that once you start a task, that once you start a task, that once you start a task, you don't stop until it is finished. You don't stop until it is finished. You don't stop until it is finished. For example, for example, for example, you read an email. You read an email. You read an email. Rather than postpone answering it, rather than postpone answering it, rather than postpone answering it, deal with it there and then. Deal with it there and then. Deal with it there and then. A majority of emails. A majority of emails. A majority of emails can be handled with a brief reply. Can be handled with a brief reply. Can be handled with a brief reply. So rather than reading an email, so rather than reading an email, so rather than reading an email, leaving it unanswered, leaving it unanswered, leaving it unanswered, then coming back to it another day, then coming back to it another day, then coming back to it another day, by which time you have forgotten, by which time you have forgotten, by which time you have forgotten some of the contents, some of the contents, some of the contents, and need to read it again, and need to read it again, and need to read it again, just answer it immediately. Just answer it immediately. Just answer it immediately. While the topic or questions, while the topic or questions, while the topic or questions are fresh in your mind, are fresh in your mind, are fresh in your mind. Some time management experts, some time management experts, some time management experts believe this can reduce the time required, believe this can reduce the time required, believe this can reduce the time required to complete tasks, to complete tasks, to complete tasks by as much as 50%, by as much as 50%, by as much as 50%. Of course, of course, of course. It takes self-discipline. It takes self-discipline. It takes self-discipline. And learning new habits. And learning new habits. And learning new habits. And ways of working. And ways of working. And ways of working. The rewards, however, The rewards, however, more than compensate for the effort required. For the effort required. For the effort required. To develop these new disciplines. To develop these new disciplines. To develop these new disciplines. Try employing these. Try employing these. Try employing these 3 simple time management principles. 3 simple time management principles. 3 simple time management principles during your regular workday. During your regular workday. During your regular workday. And get great satisfaction. And get great satisfaction. And get great satisfaction from getting more done. From getting more done. From getting more done in less time and with less energy. In less time and with less energy. In less time and with less energy. Well, that's the end of the exercise. Now you've finished this English speaking and pronunciation exercise, focus on improving your fluency. So read this text in exercise 4 again, using the synchronized reading method. Just go to the description below for the link to the playlist. Has this video helped you? Then like, share or comment now. And build a powerful English vocabulary with my free course on Udemy. Go to goodenglish.online.